Welcome to Nebraska Democratic Party 2016 Presidential Caucus Series. I'm Marta Nieves, and our guest is Luke Peterson. Welcome, Luke. He is the chair of the Disability Caucus, and I'm happy to welcome you today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Super. The specific purpose of this series of interviews is how the affiliated caucus organizations can be tools in implementing the Democratic Presidential Caucus and Delegate Selection Plan. We are a big tent party, and of course, not only we welcome, but we really encourage participation from all Nebraska Democrats. Now, before getting into specifics, Luke, would you tell us about the Disability Caucus and how did you come to be the chair?
Yes, certainly. Well, the Disability Caucus for the Nebraska Democratic Party is a group of concerned voters, Democratic voters, who want to raise the awareness of disability issues and disability rights generally among the population and within the state. So we look at things like Medicaid expansion through several disability related issues, possibly Beatrice State Developmental Center, all sorts of issues. So that's what the Disability Caucus is really about. I became the chair at the last the state convention in 2014. And it was a bunch of us in a room, and we all looked at each other and we realized that there wasn't a chair for us. So we went around and we introduced ourselves and explained why we were there. And I work for a disability rights advocacy organization, and apparently that was enough for me to be the chair of the Disability Caucus.
Well, it sounds like that makes a lot of sense. Would you also tell us about what the organizational goals are?
Certainly. We really want to definitely raise the awareness for issues that can surround the Americans with Disabilities Act. So it could be anything from parking violations, could be anything for wills and estates. Guardianship is certainly a huge issue. So really it's just when you think of yourself in the capacity of either knowing a loved one with a disability, or you yourself experiencing either short-term or long-term disability is what we're really for.
That's outstanding. I would think that one really needs to know this information. It's very important. Now let's talk specifically about your plans to reach out to your membership and also potential members.
Okay. Certainly. Well, one of the things I know I'm particularly interested as the chair for the Disability Caucus is access for the caucus locations. I would hope that a lot of the caucus locations are ADA compliant, because if you can't get in the front door, you're not going to be able to caucus. And that's the preference there. We want people to show up for the caucus, regardless if you utilize a wheelchair, a walking device, anything. If you cannot show up to your caucus location, that's going to be an issue. So we would really hope that a lot of voters who want to caucus for Hillary or for Bernie to make the concerted effort and to find out if their location is accessible so that they can go. If that is not the option, because I am aware that Nebraska is not as comprehensive with following the Americans with Disabilities Act, there is the option for absentee balloting.
Exactly.
And that is the other thing that I would emphasize to caucus goers. If you can't make it, then if you want your voice heard, definitely do the absentee ballot. You will have to be in touch with the state party, and they will have to verify you as a Democratic voter. And the caveat to absentee balloting is you're only good to do that for your candidate. Because as we know in the caucus, if your candidate doesn't make through the first round of selection, and if you absentee ballot, and your candidate does not make through, your ballot will not count in the second round.
I see.
So that's something
important to
that
just
is,
differentiate.
Yes, that needs to be differentiated, and that needs to be emphasized. So that's why we really want to ensure that people have the knowledge of where their caucus location is and if it's accessible.
And this is good because we're going to be giving information here that you have a website that people can access, so they will know exactly where their place for caucus is going to be. So that's excellent. Okay, we have various on-site information for you. So caucuses will have lots of resources in order to get their members to participate. We have the series with an introduction by the state chair, Vince Powers, an interview with Charlene Ligon, who is the NDP caucus chair, and also the NDP website, which is nebraskademocrats.org. And we have the caucus website as well. And that one is nebraskacaucus2016.org. This site contains all the documents and the forms necessary to hold a successful caucus, as well as a PowerPoint presentation, which is very, very helpful. So there should be no excuse for not participating, right? The whole idea is to get people to participate. And we have also individuals that can be contacted. Charlene Ligon, who is the caucus chair, charlene.ligon@nebraskademocrats.org. Phone number 402-215-1571. And we have Chauncey Brown. She is the NDP data director. Chauncey at nebraskademocrats.org. 402-434-2180, and you will see that these are flashing on the screen. Okay, thank you so much, Luke, for your time, for being with us and giving us great information, and best wishes to you and the caucus membership in your efforts to maximize participation in this very important activity.
Thank you. I would just really hope that people do plan on caucusing for their candidate of choice, because if we want to emphasize that disability rights issues is something that any presidential candidate should be aware of.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.